That breaking news, the City Board of Estimates approves a $6.4 million settlement in the Freddie Gray case. It comes a day before a hearing will decide if the trial for the 6 officers charged in the case will be moved out of Baltimore. WJZ investigator Mike Helgren is live downtown with reaction to the payout and what it could mean for the criminal trial. Mike?
Jessica, the city's negotiators would not say how they came to that $6.4 million number. The mayor said she felt it was in the taxpayers' best interest, and it's important to note they started negotiating this just 1 month after Gray's death.
All those in favor say aye.
Baltimore's Board of Estimates unanimously approved one of its largest settlements ever this morning, with the city agreeing to pay $6.4 million to the family of Freddie Gray, who died in police custody earlier this year. The settlement does not admit any wrongdoing, and the mayor stressed is not an admission that the 6 officers charged in Gray's death did anything wrong.
The purpose of the civil settlement is to bring an important measure of closure to the Gray family, to the community, and to the city, and to avoid years and years of protracted civil litigation and the potential harm to the community.
The multi-million-dollar payout will be over 2 years and is more than the city paid in all police misconduct cases over a recent 4-year period. State law places a cap on such judgments at $400,000, but city lawyers felt Gray's relatives would file a civil suit in federal court where there is no cap, and Baltimore could have been on the hook for millions more.
Folks will say, well, the family of Freddie Gray got $6 million, so I want my $6 million, so we'll hear some of that. But, you know, we're big boys and girls, and we can distinguish between this case and the cases of the future.
City lawyers believe this would not have been dismissed in federal court, and they went so far as to consult with a former federal judge about the risks of settling or moving forward. The Fraternal Order of Police has blasted the settlement as obscene.
I would have confidence that at the end of the trial, my officers would be found innocent and this whole thing would be over. And to that, I would say thank you.
Now, the Gray family is represented by attorney Billy Murphy, whose office is in the building behind me on the 23rd floor, where right now he is holding a press conference. Let's listen to some of his opening remarks on this settlement.
We represent an unusual family that has never pointed the finger at any particular officer, has never commented on the facts of the case, and has never said to any of you what result they are seeking in this case, except that they want justice.
There is an important hearing, as we mentioned, tomorrow about whether to move the officers' trials from Baltimore. Both city attorneys and the mayor said they looked at the timing of this settlement and how it might impact that. In their view, it does not, and they wanted to stress that this settlement has no bearing on the guilt or innocence of officers in their criminal trial. Of course, there are several people who disagree with that opinion. Reporting live in downtown Baltimore, Mike Helgren, WJZ Eyewitness News.
All right, Mike, thank you. And please stay with WJZ for complete coverage of the Freddie Gray case. We'll be in court tomorrow. Lawyers for the 6 officers charged in the case ask a judge to move that trial out of Baltimore. And another